back to Skate Date.
It's Skate Date, where we are just a couple roller skaters who talk about the world and stuff.
Yeah, here at Skate Date, we are just a couple queers that fell in love through roller skating, and we have a lot of opinions about the real world and the wheel world.
Yes, we do.
I'm Shove.
And I am Rebel.
Together we are Shovel.
Can you dig it?
Yes.
Yes.
This episode we're going to be talking about lying for comfort.
I don't know anything about it.
Anxiety. Okay, so anyways, today was a really long day. That's why we're looking like some glazed donuts, specifically me.
No, you look like a delicious glazed donut. I look like a trash
wait, back up.
like a day-old bagel.
Did I say disgusting glazed donut?
No, I
just said a glazed donut, and everyone knows a glazed donut looks delicious and tasty. So now I feel like I do look a mess.
No, I was trying to say, because I thought that you were trying to say you looked a mess. I was trying to say that you don't look a mess.
Oh, no.
And that I look a mess. I look like a day-old bagel.
No. Oh my gosh, a coffee shop I used to go to said born yesterday bagels.
That's
for
adorable.
$1. So you look like you were born yesterday. You act like you were born yesterday.
What were you, born yesterday?
But yeah, no, I say glazed donut because it's like, yeah, I still look good and tasty, but I'm also like really shiny because we did a vendor event.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, it's called the Long Beach Sunday Market. It was pretty chill. We sold some skate art and accessories.
Yeah, and we want to vend more.
Yeah,
so
some skaters came out. It was awesome.
It was so fun. It was really good.
Someone mentioned the podcast, and I was like,
Yeah, we were like, oh yeah, you know, our podcast.
I was so thankful that you got a free sticker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was fun.
Pretty cool. Yeah, that's what we did today, and pretty much in this last week, all that we've done is prep for the vending event.
Yes, and I would also like to touch base again on why we look like glazed donuts is because this is the first time we've had to do Skate Date this time of year, because we are not a year old yet.
Yeah.
And today was 90 degrees, which means our garage is still stuck at nighttime at probably 90 degrees. So we're not allowed to have a fan on because, you know, y'all would stop listening because of the sound quality.
Yeah, so it's really hot in here.
Yeah. And not the cool kind of hot like in Nelly.
Yeah.
Not Furtado.
Yeah.
But yeah, so bear with us. I also have an extreme toothache, which means I will be drinking a glass of Jameson. So if Chef goes off the loose end halfway through this episode, that's why.
I'm drinking lavender lemonade.
Because Rebel has a problem.
With lavender lemonade.
All right, babe.
Are you ready for everything that this episode has to offer the world?
Yes, but first, let's jump into our ads.
Okay.
Hey babe, I noticed at the Sunday market, people loved your patches and skate leashes.
I know, they were a great hit.
Who made them for you?
The same person that made your patches and our Skate Date patches, silly.
Oh yeah, Project Pinup.
Boop-a-doop.
Project Pinup is a crafty goddess.
She's a goddess.
Who makes pretty much everything your heart desires.
That's right. From skate leashes and charms, patches, pinup jewelry, floral hairpins, keychains, and don't even get me started on our crystal business where...
Babe, that's a whole different ad. But yes, also keychains. I think you meant keychains. Project Pinup does it all. Go to Project Pinup on Etsy.
For some kitchens and some keychains.
And that time you said kitchens. For your kitchens,
Kitchens.
Kitchens.
And your keychains.
And keychains. She keeps adding different words. Okay.
And use code SKATEDATE for 10% off anything that starts with a K. And also everything that starts with all the other alphabet letters.
Project Pinup, we love you.
Yeah.
I swear I'm the one that's partaking on the whiskey tonight.
No,
okay.
I'm partaking on the long day. I'm tired.
She ain't ready, y'all.
She ain't ready, but she is ready because we gotta jump right into that real world. about the world. And we talk about, like, things that aren't necessarily skating related because we have opinions on... Oh my gosh, Chev almost spilled her drink. We have opinions on things that aren't necessarily just roller skating. Like, we're, like, still people outside of roller skates. So we want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to talk about something really awkward that happened. And I don't know, maybe this person's listening. Definitely friends with this person, but we won't use names. We're going to keep it real because it's the real world. And we're talking about lying for comfort. It's something we always do because of anxiety or things that, like, you know, those awkward situations where it's like, you avoided someone, you didn't reply to a text, you didn't reply to an email, and for a specific reason that's awkward to explain why, and then you see them face to face and you're like, oh shit, let me just lie and say I never got that.
Or, like, I don't know, you just exist in the world and you feel awkward all the time, so you just make up scenarios or reasons why anything.
Oh my gosh, Rebel loves to lie with no reason at all.
I know. But, like, for serious stuff, I never lie. But, like, when it's not serious, oh, catch me lying.
White lies all the time.
All day long. I try not to, but, like, sometimes it's completely unintentional, but other times... And it also depends on, like, who it's with, too. I feel like we've kind of talked about this before, so I feel like you have a little background to this. But, like, for me, with people who are strangers, it's, like, not that important to tell the truth. Like, strangers, like, complete strangers, and I don't know anything to them. I feel like I don't owe them the truth.
Yeah, but, I don't know, there's a lot of things that, like, I feel that I don't know if it's, like, just growth, if it's getting older. I told Rebel, like, we're in our 30s now. We should be allowed to just be up with people. And, like, upfront.
Being upfront is hard because it's, like, you get in these awkward situations, and you're like, I don't want to deal with this awkward situation. Like, it's not my fault, or I was just put in this weird situation.
But would you rather have that one awkward conversation? That's what, this is what made me realize it. It's either have a weird, awkward conversation right now, one time, that person understands, they leave you alone, they avoid you, they know where the line in the sand has been drawn. Or, like, kind of bullshit them and lie and make excuses and pretend like everything's okay, and then you keep going around that person and you keep having to be fake.
Well, yeah, that's when you, like, send a text or an email. You, like, lie to their face and then you send a text or an email. Not saying that that's the right thing to do, just saying that that would be a way that I could potentially imagine myself avoiding a situation.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go over two things that happened today. The first one was, like, okay, there's someone that I used to work with and someone that I'm cool with, but I'm really bad with, like, replying to texts and stuff a lot of times, especially with, like, people that aren't in my inner circle. Mm-hmm. So, like, someone came to our booth and was like, hi, but my instant reaction was like, oh crap, I forgot that I said we could go to the skate park together on Saturday, and I totally flaked on it, and I totally forgot. Like, I was just like, oh shoot, I never replied to that text, and they're gonna think I stood them up and that I'm avoiding them. And it was chill, and they were totally friendly, and they even bought some stuff, but in my head I was like, I'm a horrible person. But for that, like, I didn't feel the need to, like, make up excuses or anything. It was just, like, awkward. But, like, sometimes, like, I'm lying. Actually, usually I'd be like, oh my god, I totally forgot to text you. Something came up. But I decided to just be like, I'm not gonna give any excuses. I'm not gonna apologize. If they bring it up, I'll say, yeah, I flaked, but I'm just gonna play it cool. And that was, like, the, like, okay, like, mini thing, but something that usually I'll, like, tell little lies, like we talked about. Then later on, like, well, we saw at the beginning, like, there was someone else at the event. And I was like, oh no, like, this is someone that emailed us about some work things, and we just left them on red. And it's someone that, like, really betrayed a really close friend of us, and other things too. But, like, the most importantly is, like, you know, respect, and you want to respect your closest friends and stuff like that. And sometimes you find out a lot of things about certain people, and you're like, ooh, I don't respect you anymore, and I don't want to be, like, involved with you at all. And so anyways, I was like, well, we'll just, like, do our own thing. And then, of course, this person comes up to us and is like, oh my gosh, I emailed y'all about this opportunity. And it's so funny because me and Rebel had a side conversation before. And what was our conversation before?
Our conversation before was literally, like, what do we do if they come on to us and they ask us about the email? And I was like, just avoid it. And Chef was like, no, we have to talk to them. And I was like, okay, well, you can do it.
No, you didn't say that. You were just like, really? And I was like, I literally said, we are both in our 30s right now. We are grown-ass women. We should be able to set it straight. They're older than us. They're a grown-ass person, too. We should be able to be like, yo, like, we saw it. We can't have a professional relationship because ABC. That's just the way it is. So, and then Rebel was like, yeah, but looks worried, right? So literally Rebel, the one that usually commands every awkward conversation and can't shut up, was dead silent. Just stood there. Don't even know if she shook her head in agreement, to be honest.
I honestly think I might have looked away. Like, I think that I might have, like turned my body.
She basically made me be the bitch.
100%.
And she was just like, oh, I don't know. I would help you. Like,
no, what? I didn't know. I didn't say any of that stuff. I just, like, didn't say anything.
So anyway, like, the person's, like, mentioning it, as I said, and I was just like, you know, I just gotta be straightforward. We saw that. We didn't respond because at first we were just not going to do that. But now that I see you, like, gotta keep it real. Like, we can't do it because of bleep person that we know. And just like, I don't know, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell you. And that's just the way it is. It's nothing personal between you and I. Like, or I said, like, us and you. It's just there can be no professional relationship. And I was like, it's just the way it is. And I just want to be honest. And they were like, well, you could have emailed me back or something.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Because I think they were shook to be like, oh, wow, you just put me in my place. Like,
I thought you did a really good job.
But I literally wasn't even mean. I was just like, hey, like,
no, ABC. You really weren't mean, and I think that it's okay to say things straightforward, and it's also okay to ignore emails. I don't think we owe anything to anyone.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like, how do y'all listening, how would you feel about it? Like, do you want people to kind of, like, lie and ghost you, or would you want someone to be upfront with you, even if it's, like, something that could kind of sting, but, like, I don't know, I feel like I would feel more respected, like, ooh, yeah, that was something I did, or, like, wow, they want nothing to do with me, but then it'd be better than always wondering, like, oh, they always act funny around me, or they never reply to me.
I definitely would want someone to be upfront with me, 100%.
Right? Blunt.
100%. And usually I'm very blunt, and that's why I was, like, so thrown off by myself. I think I just didn't have the, like, mental space. Usually I prep myself for it. Or it's, like, heated in the moment, and then I'm really good at fast snapping back. But when it's, like,
yeah, and then at the end, Rebel was like, I would have been, you said that so much better than me, like, I would have been so anxious. And I was like, I am anxious. Like, to be honest, like, my heart was like, like, I was, like, low-key, like, this is awkward. But I'm just gonna go. And, like, I thought, like, I was gonna just keep rambling. But luckily, like, I was able to pull myself in. But it felt good in the end because all I could think was, like, I don't have to be put in a situation where this person asks me for something again, which has honestly happened, like, pretty often. Times, like, because of my following, like, can you promote this? Can you promote this? And then once I found out that they had done great harm to a close friend of mine, I just realized, no.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I don't know, like, how do you feel, babe? Like, when it comes to, like, lying, I guess it's lying for the comfort of others because you don't want to hurt them, but it's also lying for the comfort of yourself because you're, like, anxious and you're like,
I mean, I know that I'm totally guilty of this. Like, I feel like I definitely lie for other people's comfort all the time. And then I catch myself in, like, stupid small lies and I'm like, why am I lying about this? Like, this literally doesn't matter to anyone. And I also lie about, for example, one thing that I lie about all the time is I always lie when I'm late.
Everyone.
I know, but it is still lying for the comfort of myself or another person, I think. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I feel like I lie about on, like, a pretty regular basis is I pretend like I don't know anything that's going on, especially if someone's trying to tell me something and they're, like, excited, and so they, like, I'll, like, let them tell me even though, like, I already know what's going on.
That's also everyone. Let's be real. You lie about a lot of other things. You're, like, sugarcoating it. You're just saying things that everyone lies. That's, like,
I'm not. Those are the first things that came to my head. Look at
her, she's lying right now.
No, I'm literally not. I'm just blanking on things that I lie about. Like...
A big thing she lies about is knowing people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I lie about knowing people all the time.
This is the thing that makes you different from other people. So, like, let's say someone walks in and like, oh my god, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. You'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh my god, I don't know what this is. And then you're like, oh, good, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you'd end it. But Rebel will sit there and have a long conversation that she purposely keeps going with more questions. And then we'll even say, like, we should hang out.
Because I genuinely feel connected to the person. It's just that I'm trying to remember who they are. And then in my head, I'm thinking that, like, afterwards I can use all the context clues from the asking of the questions to figure out who they are for sure.
Yeah, and every time I'll be like, oh my god, who's that? And you'll be like, I don't fucking know.
I know.
Another random line was, like, even when we were adopting Bowie, for some reason, Rebel turned the whole story around of something that happened that was bad with my, like, mine and my dad's dog. And then, like, switched the card that, like, it was my dad there, not me.
Okay.
And it was like, why? There was no reason for the story to change, because the thing was, it was still sad. A dog died. I know. Really sad.
It was very sad.
I was destroyed. But anyways, it was just weird. Like, I get that, like, you say the story because you want them to be like, oh, wow, Chef really needs a dog. We should definitely let them adopt this dog.
No, this is the thing. No, this is what happens. Okay, the reason why I lie in situations where I feel like other people are uncomfortable, and I feel like y'all are going to be like, Rebel, you're a horrible person. But you know what? I don't know. Like, I feel like I start to read the clues off of other people's faces, and that they're, like, shutting down, or that they're starting to think something weird, and then I'll just spin out. Like, it's like, I'm, like, telling the truth, and everything's good, and then I see you look at me funny, and I'm like, nope, and then I just go with some other story completely that's, like, not true, or I twist
like, she
it.
panics about an answer, like, when she was at the Forever 21 shoot, like, for the queer collection. And I guess he was like, oh, are you a model? And she was like, yes.
Yes, I do panic. Like, I'm like, yes, I am a model. Because I'm scared of what they're going to say if I tell them I'm just an average Joe Schmo. You know, like, I'm worried about how people are going to react. And I'm like, it's not worth it to me, because it is very, very worth it to me for my close friends and family to not lie to them. Like, it's very worth it to me.
No, but that's why all of us people that are close to you are like, when we, like, turn, like, what? Like, she just straight up lied. And it's just so fast and so, like, you really, like, believable. And we're like, it wasn't even something to lie.
Yeah,
I don't know. And you can tell it's, like, panic. And then you'll ask, like, why did that? She's like, I don't know. Like, it's not even intentional.
It's literally, it just happens. And then it's because of panic. And then I just do it. And then I'm like, oh, no. Oh, well, I guess I did that again. I just told some person that I'm, you know, like, a musician. Like, just in a train, because, you know, they were asking me about something, and I was like, well, it's for, you know, my band.
Oh,
and
my God.
I'm like, why did I do that? I don't know.
I remember in high school I did that once, like, I was supposed to learn guitar and band, but it was, like, I went to a bullshit school that had, like, not even a real music teacher, and he never taught us anything. We would just show up and talk for, like, 2 hours on a block schedule. Never learned anything, but I would lug my friend's guitar to and from school, and it was my senior year, so I was taking a train and 2 buses. And one day I had, like, my guitar, like, in the bag on my back, or in the seat next to me on the train, actually on the bus, and this guy's like, oh, you play? Like, is it a bass or guitar? I was like, oh, a guitar. And they're like, oh, you play? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, cool, are you in a band? I was like, yeah. I'm in a band. Sometimes we play in Hollywood. And he's like, oh, cool, where have you played? And I literally just started, like, naming random places. And I was like, yeah, we had a show at Knitting Factory. RIP. Knitting Factory, I believe, is no longer a thing. And then I was like, yeah, and then, like, once at House of Blues. He's like, oh, that's sick. What's your name? And I was like, Fallon.
Oh my God.
Just making shit up.
What?
Because I'm like, I'm never going to see this person. And I was like, I can create my own
That's
fantasy,
how I feel every time I meet strangers.
I'm not going to do that as an adult.
Okay. Shoot, I had something that I was going to tell you that I forgot. Oh, when I had my guitar, there was like something wrong with it, and I had to take it to the guitar store.
Oh
I was like, because like, why would you admit to the guitar store that you're one of all of the beginners? Like, no, I'm not that. I don't know. So like, they were asking me about it, and I was just like, yeah, like, it's my first headless or whatever, which is, like, true, but definitely also, like, my first guitar. And I was just, like, playing it off. Like, I definitely knew about the guitar, like, definitely played, and I did not at all. And I was like, why did I do that? I don't know.
Like, sometimes you're like, oh, I just blacked out and didn't realize I did that. And I'm like, you sound like an alcoholic.
I know.
Or, like, you have a serious mental illness.
Well, I don't know. It literally happens to me all the time. And
what do you think makes people lie?
It's because, like, confrontation is so hard. Like,
True.
It's not fun, and I, like, really strongly believe that, like, confrontation that's with people that is not people that you're close with is not worth it. Like, yeah. I just am like, oh, I'm never going to see you again. Why would I have any confrontation with you? That's not worth my time or energy or effort.
I think it's fine when it is people, like, you're never going to see again. I think it's hard when you have confrontation with people in the skate community.
I do think that's
really
awkward.
Afraid of the world opening up and going back to meetups and stuff, because there was a lot of stuff that happened throughout the pandemic that caused rifts in the skate community. And there are a few skaters out there that, like, I want nothing to do with, and they want nothing to do with me. Like, we just have different views, different beliefs, and there's things that I stand by that I'm just like, are hard no's. Sometimes you can disagree on certain things and still get along, but there's some things that it's like, no, don't even want to shake your hand. And then I was like, and got into it. Some people like directly, but internet stuff is like, people are really big on their phones. And I've gone so far, there's been twice where I've gone to skate areas and I've seen different people that I'm like, thought that people that's talked big games about, like, oh, F this person, blah, blah, all this stuff to my friends about me. And then, like, I'm around them face to face, and neither time did they even, like, make eye contact with me. They just, like, cowered away. And that made me realize, like, oh, like, I don't, like, that doesn't matter. And, like, a lot of things like confrontations are, like, I remember thinking, like, do I go up to them and be like, hey, I heard you had a lot to say on the internet, say it now. But then at the same time, it's like, that was not afraid of confrontation. It was I don't need this.
Yeah, I think that that's really important to recognize. I definitely think that there's, like, a weird pressure that skaters who look up to us see, and they are like, oh, you and all the other skaters that I look up to, like, you all get along. And that's just, like, straight up not true. Just because we're all, like, in the public eye and skaters doesn't necessarily mean that we're all friends.
And then we all get tagged in the same thing, and we're like,
oh, that person hurt me very, very badly.
Like,
oh, that person.
Me of this person that has done me major wrong.
Yeah, but it's like, a lot of people don't know about that, and I think that people feel, like, weirdly betrayed by us when, like, all of their skate heroes aren't, like, a big happy family. And I think that that is weird because it puts us in an uncomfortable position. Like, we're not allowed to be people who have, like, friends or emotions or life experiences. And I feel like for me, where all this, like, is going is that I feel a weird pressure to be like, oh yeah, I'm friends with them, even though, like, I'm not friends with people.
Yeah, and that goes back to the beginning of, like, hey, like, you're assuming, like, we're friends just because of, like, on the internet and these things. Like, just because we follow each other doesn't necessarily mean we're closer, like, super close, like someone else that I'm close to in real life. And then I know, like, like, if that person and that someone I'm actually close to is at odds, that's going to affect me. And I think people forget, like, I don't know, between the internet and real life.
Well, and also, like, I know I follow over 1,000 people. Like, I don't know all of those 1,000 people.
We know of.
I know everyone. Of them. But, like, even a lot of people, I maybe have known of them for a short amount of time, which caused me to follow them. But, like, you don't even interact with all those people on your social media all the time.
But and also, I feel like we're getting off track. Like, this could be a whole nother episode that we can talk about, like,
you're right,
social media friends versus real friends. Right. But we're talking about lying, and I mean, social media is a giant lie if you think about it, right? Anyway.
We try not to make it into a lie, though.
Yeah. I'll say something funny that was a lie. Something interesting. I found out that at least one of you likes to go on Reddit and listens to this skate date. So shout out to you and to a lot of people that are on Reddit that think a lot of us whose names are often being typed don't see it.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Like,
we go
not on Reddit.
We go on Reddit.
Yeah. And they were talking about, like, that I was being false advertising, like I was lying because I said the Forever 21 thing isn't size inclusive, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like,
it goes up to 3x, and some of the stuff goes up to 4x.
Yeah, and then like was just like all this stuff. Well, shove this and shove that, and I'm like, okay, so we're over here spreading lies on the internet and doesn't even know what's up. And then like it's funny because so many people reach out to me about stuff, even if they're like, hey, I think this is bullshit. Can you explain this? And I'll be like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But no one even reached out to me about this. And I think it's so funny. And then, like, something else happened at work where someone was like, I don't know if I told you about this. Like, someone emailed in and was like, I think this is false advertising because I am much smaller than Shove and they don't have my size. Like, it won't fit me. And they were shopping online. What? And they did the thing where you, like, describe your body and it suggests the size to you, which is, like, that thing never works. Like, how is it going to know what size you are? Not work. By putting, like, your body shape.
You just have to look at the whole thing and
read the measurement. Yeah. And then I thought, like, that's funny, but they kept saying, like, as I said, my body is smaller than Shove's. And I was like, okay, like... But yeah, so this person was saying like all kinds of crazy stuff. And I just like to say like when it comes to lying and like that's one thing I have a hold on is like I won't like false advertise anything. Like that's a lie that like I'm not comfortable with.
I would never do that either.
Especially like hello body positivity movement, aka me and skating. Like you think I would do that? Like the audacity?
Just because the Forever 21 that's near you doesn't have a plus size section or the internet sold out of the sizes that you have does not mean that Forever 21 didn't have it. And also, by the way, side note, Moxie doesn't have control over what Forever 21 puts in their stores or puts online or puts at separate stores.
Yeah. But yeah, just want to say a shout out to the people that like to spread lies too. That's why I'm like my old favorite thing is y'all all up in the Kool-Aid and don't know what flavor it is. And don't even like to ask what flavor it is.
I think that what's hard is that we're definitely talking about two different things. We're talking about lying for comfort, like when you're face to face with someone and it's like an awkward situation. And then also lying to like, I don't know, get attention or stir the pot or like...
assuming things without asking
Assuming things because maybe you don't think you're lying, but like you're definitely spreading a lie. And I think that both of those definitely happen. And it's interesting to talk about and think about. I don't really think about lying that much because I feel like I don't lie to the people that matter. And I would never lie in a way that would damage my reputation because... I honor my reputation so much. And so for me, it's always such low stakes, like white lies, that I've never even thought about it as like a problem. And to be completely honest, I'll probably continue to white lie.
Okay, so lying. Good, bad, gray area.
I think it's a gray area.
Same. Let's move on.
Okay. Next up is the wheel world.
Oh, it's hot in here.
This episode is so random. Okay.
Welcome to a chaotic episode where we are burning up, and drinking is probably a bad idea when you're already on fire. I chose to wear these bell bottoms, and I am melting.
Shove woke up this morning and chose violence.
Every day this last week.
I know. Okay, so in the wheel world, what are we talking about?
We're talking about being too busy to roller skate. Wah, wah.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been too busy to roller skate?
Babe, you know that.
I'm asking for the sake of the people.
I know. Yes. Actually, I think I went 2 weeks. That's embarrassing. Without skating. I don't know how it slipped away. Was it really 2 weeks? When was Memorial Day?
I don't know.
Yeah, Memorial Day was the last day, and then I put my skates on today, as in Sunday, when we're recording this, just real quick, and I've just been so freaking busy, and it sucks.
Yeah, and you've been, like, really tired every time you come home.
Yeah, when I do have time, I'm, like, tired, or, like, drained because it's so freaking hot. Like, I thought I was going to skate last weekend, and then we painted the ramp. I thought I was going to skate this weekend, but then we had to prep for the whole vending event, and it's just, like, always one thing or the other. Like, it's like, oh, work, school, therapy, podcast, edit podcast, do Queer Girl Straight Skates, which hopefully the next thing we do for Queer Girl Straight Skates, I'm actually in my skates, which would help. But yeah, I just feel like there's no time to skate, and when I do have time, I'm just so freaking tired.
I honestly understand this. Mine is, like, way less than yours. Like, I'm like, oh man, I haven't skated in so long, but really it's been, like, 3 days. But I feel like if I don't skate every day, I just feel like I'm missing something. But some days, it's just like, I'm so busy. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because both of us are in a spot where we're too busy to be skating as much as we'd like to be skating. And I also get a lot of people in my inbox asking about this. Like, a lot of people expressing, like, I'm a nurse and, you know, I work these long shifts and then I come home and I'm just exhausted. Like, I can't put my skates on. I want to skate so bad. Or I'm in school and then I work full time and I want to skate, but, like, I'm just, at the end of the day, I can't, like, I'm so tired, or, like, I can't get up early. I already have to get up early for work. And so I think it's important to talk about this because I don't ever hear people talking about this. Like, I don't ever hear people talking about, like, being too busy to skate, because I think it's kind of stigmatized within the skate community. Like, you prioritize skating, you make time for skating, and I think that we should, you know, like, take a breath and talk about how maybe it's actually pretty normal, especially when you are an adult and you have, like, all these responsibilities.
Wait, ding, 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 ding. That's the whole thing. That's why a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of the skate community we see skating all the time and advancing really fast are people that probably work part-time jobs, that only have to go to school, like, and live at home with their parents and don't have big bills to pay. So yeah, they have time to skate every day for hours and create countless of contents because they don't have full-time jobs.
Yeah, and I just think that can get discouraging when you're watching on the internet, you know, like, you're watching these people do, you know, go to the skate park all the time, or, like, get these dance moves down that you're like, oh man, like, I wish I could do that, or I wish I would have the time to go on a trail skate, or what have you, and it can get discouraging, and I kind of wanted to let you know that you're not alone, like, that you are definitely in a group of people, that there's actually a lot more people, like, struggling with this than you probably realize, and that it's very normal for you to feel that way.
And then you do feel guilty because it's like, I hit over 100 days straight, like, skating, and I felt like I was advancing and doing so good, and then it was just like, oh, a little slip here, and then it was like, oh, back skating, and then it was like, oh, I used to be able to put my skates on at work, but now we're so freaking busy, I can't even put my skates on at work, and then it's just, like, adds up more and more, and then you're just like, wait, how many days has it been? And then you feel like the pressure to put your skates on instead of wanting to. But there shouldn't be pressure. It should just be like, oh, when I have time and I feel good, I'll skate. It shouldn't feel like this thing that's looming. It's like, you gotta skate, you gotta skate. It should be like, oh, dude, yeah, I got free time. I'm feeling good. Let's skate. Not like something that's like a task that you have to check off, like a little thing to check off your to-do list.
Yeah, the other day I was just thinking about when we lived at our old house and how we used to like go and skate all the time. Like we were always going on skate adventures like every day or like every other day. Like we would go and skate even if it was just like, you know, to go grab a coffee or to the 7-Eleven or something. And I miss that. Like I miss just like skating in the street with you and stuff. But life has changed so much since then, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, nowadays, I know is another thing that people talk to me. They're like, how do you even do it? Like, you're so busy. And Shove is so busy, too. Like, Shove has, like, what do you have in a given week? I mean, I guess you just kind of talked about it, but...
Monday, 9 to 5. Tuesday, 9 to 4. Then go straight to school from 5 to 10. Come home at 10:30. Have stress where I can't sleep till 1 in the morning. Sleep restlessly. Do it all over again till 10 o'clock. Then the next day, same thing till 10 o'clock. And so that's what, like 13-hour days. And then on Friday, I just work from 9 to 5. And then I get home and then it's like maybe a rest time, maybe podcast, or maybe put the podcast off till Sunday. Therapy is usually somewhere within that week, like in the morning too. What else we got? We had a Queer Girl Straight Skates episode that we record on either Saturday or Sunday. We were busy this week, so now that's going to fall on my Monday. Then I use half of a day to, like, not half of a day, but like one day after work, I'll like edit the podcast, which will take like sometimes 2 hours. And then I also like to fulfill my orders from my Shopify and my Etsy. So, like, it just feels like constantly there's something going on. And then I talked to my therapist about feeling like time is just constantly fleeting and I never have time to, like, do anything really. And things have just fallen off. Like, there was a big chunk where I was waking up at 6 a.m. every day. I was doing yoga. I would make us coffee. I went to work. I already had caffeine in my body, full beat phase, cute outfit, went in and just like fucked shit up and did a good job. And then like, I don't know if it's like I'm depressed again and just don't know it, but like now I'm just always tired. I just keep putting snooze on. My body doesn't feel good because I'm not stretching again, and it's just like everything just dropped off. And like even spiritually, like I don't do anything anymore. It's just work and school.
Yeah, I mean, well, school started back up is what happened.
Yeah. No, but even before school started off, like, remember? Like, I stopped waking up early and, like, doing those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and so sometimes we just get into these points in our life where we're just, like, way too busy to do anything. And it's hard. I think it's hard when so much of your social persona is around something that, you know, is fun, but also is not something that pays.
I know. Like, my Instagram looks so dull because you can tell I haven't been skating because there's like nothing. It's just like blank. And then it's like one of those things where it's like I know I usually can be like, oh wow, like I've gained followers or this and that, or people are really liking this post, or like are getting something positive message, and then it's like nothing. Because I feel like I can only post things that are skate related.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I picked up a new YouTube channel, so I'm now running 3 YouTube channels. I mean, like, with you, one of them. Mm-hmm. And then I have several jobs, and I also, you know, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, and so I also feel, like, weird, but I feel like I should definitely be, like, reaching out to people to skate with them because we can now. But I also feel like it's so weird being like, okay, I created this life for myself for the last 1.5 years that doesn't involve being social at all. And all those gaps that I used to use with being social, like, I filled with other stuff, you know, running my business or doing whatever. I don't even know what I do, but I do stuff. And now I'm like, oh, like, what do I cut away to be social again and to, like, go skating with people? Like, I used to be all over that, and I haven't done it in so long. I don't know.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, like, don't feel guilty. All, like, I mean, it's gonna happen, but just remember the reasons why we're skating. And I think it's okay if you're taking a break because you literally just physically can't, or because you have no time. It's okay. Your skates will be there waiting for you.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes, like, something that I was thinking about doing recently, and by recently I mean like literally a couple hours ago when we were planning this out, I was thinking about this, is, maybe I should, because something I've been really considering to try and like make my life feel less stressful is to have more of a morning routine. And so I was thinking like, yeah, like a morning routine can literally be 10 minutes. So what if I woke up and it doesn't even matter what I'm wearing because I'm not like taking pictures or video or anything, and I just skated for 10 minutes? Like, what if I did that every morning? Like,
I had a thought last week where I was like, what if I woke up early again? If I woke up early enough again, but then forced your tired, sleepy butt to get up too, because you never get up. You hate mornings.
I know, I'm the worst.
And was like, let's skate to Stillhead and get a coffee and then skate back, because even that would be like a short skate.
Yeah, like, I think that that's such a good idea. Like, just like forcing skating into the routine somehow.
But then you shouldn't have to force it.
But I don't think that it's about, like, because it's clearly something that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
I just don't like the word force. I think, like, making room for skating.
Yeah, I think that that's a better way to put it. Because I think that, like, I want to skate more often. But I prioritize other things a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And that's also exemplary for me of not prioritizing myself. Because for me, skating is a way of self-care. And so I need to find ways to make room for that self-care and to prioritize that self-care. Because honestly, I prioritize work a lot of times because I'm like, I need to make sure like I can provide for my family or whatever. And like, if I'm not a full person to be able to work and provide for my family, then I'm just going to get burnout. Mm-hmm. And for me, skating is one of the ways that like fuels that. So that's like a solution that I'm thinking of, but that might not necessarily work for you in your situation. You just have to like find out what works for you. How often do you realistically want to skate? Once you decide that, then find a way to prioritize skating that often.
True that.
Yeah. All right, that is the wheel world. Let's move on to find your skate date. Hey, babe.
What?
Will you be my skate date?
No.
Please.
I already have one.
Who?
Their name is Boo.
Boo!
Alright, so Find Your Skate Date is a segment where we find you a skate date.
Yeah.
You write into us at
dearskatedate@gmail.com.
And you send us a little bio about yourself.
Including your pronouns.
Yeah, if you're
and a little picture. Sorry.
Just telling us if you're looking for something platonic or romantic or both, and what where you live and all that important stuff, so we can link you up with other skaters. So far, we only have proof of one.
I'd say that happened, that's pretty good, though.
That is amazing. Yeah. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of them.
I'm proud of them.
And yeah.
So today's skate date is Boo. So Boo. No, wait. So Shove, do you want to read Boo's skate date?
I was just going to read it.
Oh,
all right.
I'm sorry.
So let's jump right in. Hi, my name is Boo. My pronouns are she, her. I'm located in Fresno, California. I am a 21-year-old college student taking a break from academics. I'm a new skater who would love to be able to learn together through watching skate videos, practicing, and maybe eventually working up to being comfortable going to the skate park. I like to bake, read, listen to music, and podcasts. I know what your favorite, Boo. I would love to have someone to skate with to take away that pressure of skating alone, and just would love to make friends since I'm new to the area. Unfortunately, Twitter is the only social media I have, and my handle is @baby_QT, spelled CUETE. I look forward to meeting.
Oh, that's so cute. if you're Boost Skate Date and you're like, I love Twitter and I love Fresno and I love skating, let's meet up, then hit her up.
Yeah, I know there's like another new skater that like does photography and makes cool jewelry and lives in like Kingsburg. There's like somewhere close to Fresno. I don't know. I went to Fresno once because my friend won a photo shoot up there and we like road trip.
Amazing.
And I found out that person, the photographer, like actually skates now too and is like pretty new. But there's definitely some other skaters out there, so I hope you get linked up.
And I think that Fresno is close to the Bay Area. Yeah? No, maybe. I just feel like there's a lot of skaters up there. I don't know anything like for real, but I feel like definitely.
Rebel doesn't know anything about geography.
Know anything about geography.
She's like, that's north, right? That's Northern California.
Wait,
right?
Nobody emailed us about the Great Britain, UK, England debate.
No one cares. No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Everyone's embarrassed of us.
All right. So if you want us to find you a skate date, then email us and we will read your skate date on the air.
Here she goes.
And then we'll post about it on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Let's do our next segment, which is
Dear Shovel.
Shovel. Our transition music is so catchy. I love it.
I don't know. I can't wait for next season. I think I'm going to redo it all.
You're going to redo it all?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right. So what's Dear Shovel?
A thing.
Okay. Dear Shovel is where you ask us questions and we answer those questions. And it's about whatever you want. Things we're experts in or not so much experts in.
Are just yelling our opinions.
Yeah, and we might not stay completely on track. So email us at dearskatedate@gmail.com and ask us a question and tell us, start the email off with Dear Shovel, and then we'll answer it.
I'm so mad that I don't have my diva fan that I had from earlier to just fan myself. It's so hot.
I think you're having a hot flash because I'm not hot, actually. So hot. Oh, you're really hot.
I'm burning up. Okay.
Do you think maybe the food is still making you sick?
Oh.
That's
also,
possible.
I think Rebel and I food poisoned ourselves earlier. Yeah, right before recording, she had to run to the bathroom, almost knocked over the camera. And I was very distressed a little bit before that. So maybe that's what these sweats are.
Okay. Dear Shovel, I am a junior pandemic skater. I have loved roller skating so much. I have been skating for a few months and have gotten pretty good. I can do quite a few tricks such as jumping, crossovers, backwards, transitions, and a few others I've been working on. That's awesome. I really want to join roller derby and I have 2 questions. 1, are there any more tricks I should learn to not make a total fool of myself when I hopefully try out? And 2, also, I live in Kentucky. I can't find any junior roller derby near me. I've looked online but haven't found anything. Is there any master list of roller derby teams or some other way to find a roller derby team/camp? Is there something I can do instead of roller derby that I can do with other skaters? I live in a small town, so finding any skate parks with roller skaters isn't a possibility. I've been to our only skate park, but there were no roller skaters, just a couple skateboarders. It's June, not May.
Okay.
Wow, this is chock full of questions.
Okay. So I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the don't want to look silly, like learn more. Okay, so a lot of people join derby and they don't even know exactly what a roller skate is.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
Unless you're like joining, like, and it's not really like, I think a lot of people think they're trying out for derby, and you don't try out for derby, or you join derby. So you join derby, they teach you everything you need to know, and then you try out for like competitive teams. Like, even if you're a good skater, you can't just try out for a travel team and get on the team. Like,
you would only be trying out if you were like switching leagues or something.
Yeah, because there's so many roles in derby that you literally have to take a written test as well. So like, literally the only thing that you have a foot up on is that you might get skipped through fresh meat 1 and go up to 2 or 3 because you know how to skate. So the only thing that's really like beneficial about what you're doing is you'll save time and how long it takes you to get put on a team.
Yeah, but like, for example, both me and Shove, I mean, Shove was a little bit more ahead than I was, but I had literally never skated ever a day in my life when I joined roller derby.
I was like, I bought my skates roller derby, but I didn't go to my first practice till like a month in, so I was already skating at the beach path. I just didn't know how to like stop without just turning.
Yeah, and I know y'all have heard this before, but I literally stood up for the first time on my first, on skates on my first day of derby practice. Whatever, lots of people do it.
You weren't like, oh, I should like try these on, and
I bought them one day. The next day I went to derby.
You're crazy, but I already knew that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, don't feel nervous about joining derby. You'll be fantastic. The fact that you can skate backwards into transitions and all those things, like, that's really good. And then the other thing is how to find roller derby teams. You can look on the WIFTA website. I think that the WIFTA, which is it's WFTR, Women's Flat Track
Roller Derby.
No, it's just derby.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
derby.
roller. That's
Yeah,
why I was
derby.
like, where's
No
the
R.
R? No, it's WFTDA, so Women's Flat Track Derby Association, which there's also like the Men's Roller Derby Association, MRDA. But I think that there is a list of like teams on that. But that's not all the roller derby teams. There's like lots and lots of other roller derby teams.
Renegade.
And so what I would do is I would look that up. And if that didn't come up with anything, I would look up recreational roller derby teams or renegade derby teams. And sometimes teams that even don't have a junior league will still let people play sometimes.
Or they'll just guide you. No, a lot of times
not when
it's a liability. Because if like an adult hurts someone underage, it's like a huge thing. So like even our league, they rarely were like, until they knew like you were in like good, they didn't really like when the juniors were playing with us for a while. But what you would do is if you know of any derby leagues, just email them and they'll guide you to the nearest junior league because they'll know.
Oh yeah, that's way better advice than what I just said.
Yep.
Ignore what I just said completely.
Per usual in Dear Shovel.
Would that count as a lie?
It's really just Dear Shove.
No. I don't think that counts as a lie because I don't really know. I'm doing my best. I'm just guessing.
Also, I think there used to be a roller derby camp like a long time ago, but I don't think there is anymore.
I know actually there are some leagues that do roller derby camps, but you'd probably have to travel to them if you're in a small town.
Oh, there used to be like a huge thing, like where you went.
Yeah,
like,
there's like there used to maybe be one in New York, maybe. Like the big roller derby teams tend to do it. I think Angel City maybe does it. Does a roller derby camp or used to do roller derby camps. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on now, especially since the world is closed. It's very hard to know.
Yeah, like roller derby is like non-contact, and like WIFTA's not even back yet. Renegades, like some renegades are like been doing things, but whatever. And other renegade teams have been doing just like non-contact. There's a lot of things shifting right now, so derby's like all over the place, to be honest. Yeah,
so the best advice we could give is to find the closest derby team that you can get a hold of and then have them direct you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I answer better than that?
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. But that's pretty good advice, I think. Also,
Here.
Hell yeah, roller derby. Roller derby rocks. I love roller derby. I miss it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I know you do.
I definitely miss it. Yeah, I can't wait for it to come back. Okay, well, we didn't have anyone give us 5 stars this week.
Duh, because we suck. I love that you drew a heart around the word none that you wrote in cursive.
It's like not fully cursive.
You should have just put no, like no love.
Yeah, well, So we didn't get any reviews, any 5-star reviews on our podcast and Apple Podcasts this week. But if you would like to leave a review and give us a little feedback, we will shout you out on the podcast. It'll be really fun for you and for us. We love gassing you up. It'll be great. Another thing you could do to support us is you could go on our YouTube and subscribe, and if you're watching on the YouTube, you could like and comment, definitely, because the likes and comments help a lot with the algorithm, and subscribing, even if you don't actually watch us on the YouTube, subscribing on YouTube helps us get to a point where we can get monetized. And yeah. Anything else you'd like to say to the people today?
I would like to give the people a 5-star review.
Oh.
Stars. 5. Review title: Great listeners. I always think that the listeners are amazing. They're really good at, listening. And for the ones that also listen yet watch on YouTube, y'all are cool too. And for that reason, Shove gives you 5 stars.
Wow, a 5-star review from Shove. Amazing. She never gives me 5 stars, so y'all are in luck.
I give you 4.5. No one's perfect, except for you listeners.
Alright, well, in order to avoid future reviews from Shove, please put in your own reviews.
I have a review lined up for Bowie just in case.
Oh my gosh. Alright, well, thanks so much for listening and tuning in. If you're watching, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. It means the whole entire world to us.
Oh my god, they get it, babe. They already got a whole review and 5 stars. Don't let it go to their heads.
Okay, well, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye. Yeah, I just burped.
Ew.
Hi, my name's Boo!
Holy crap, that was scary.
I just really scared.
I also probably don't think that they appreciate that.
Okay, fine. I'll redo it.